Arabs are becoming increasingly irreligious. BBC survey of over 25,000 Arabs finds a decrease in religiosity in 10 of the 11 countries surveyed.
Here's a summary of the article.
Arabs are increasingly saying they are no longer religious, according to the largest and most in-depth survey undertaken of the Middle East and North Africa. The finding is one of a number on how Arabs feel about a wide range of issues, from women's rights and migration to security and sexuality. More than 25,000 people were interviewed for the survey, for BBC News Arabic by the Arab Barometer Research Network, across 10 countries and the Palestinian territories between late 2018 and spring 2019. The survey was carried out by the research network, Arab Barometer. The Arab Barometer is a research network based at Princeton University. It is of Arab world opinion, so does not include Iran or Israel, though it does include the Palestinian territories. You can find out more details about the methodology on the Arab Barometer website.
This post received a score of 21,783, with an upvote ratio of 92%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
Almost all of this change is coming from North Africa. Jordan, Palestine, Lebanon, Iraq only changed very marginally, and Yemen actually became more religious. But within North Africa there's been between approximately 5% Algeria and 15+% Tunisia, Libya decrease in religiosity, over just 5 years. Other recent demographic findings from Arabbarometer: Arabs are becoming less interested in politics, more supportive of women in workforce and education. Unchanged in views on women in politics. You can see answers to a load of questions here.
Liberal Arab agnostic here. Well, Iraq was always a bit more secular than the rest. It's practically the only Arab country where the word secular isn't a dirty word, and it's used by political parties all the time to describe themselves. But secular doesn't equal liberal or even tolerant. Many of my family members were secular, and they were amongst the most racist and violent people I met. They hated other sects of Islam despite not being religious themselves. To them, Shiite and Sunni ceased to be religious labels and became ethnic ones.
Greater than ceased to be religious labels and became ethnic ones. Makes sense. Kind of hard to keep on believing in pan-Arab nationalism after what happened in the 60s and 70s. I wouldn't be surprised if people substituted it with religious identity.
What happened in the 60s and 70s?
A lot, but the biggest factor was the Six-Day War. The perception that Egypt, which was at the center of the pan-Arab movement, surrendered to Israel and the U.S. was the death blow. This is also why the go-to message of Islamists for the past few decades has been to point out how weak and ineffective secular rulers are.
Although Mubarak maintained Sadat's uneasy peace with Israel, he did so at an arm's length, so as to let sleeping dogs lie. For 30 years, Mubarak reigned as the fourth president of Egypt, maintained through elections of dubious legitimacy. Protests over his change of policy became so widespread across Egypt, is that it led to an intervention by the Egyptian military, supporters of Mubarak and the most powerful representative of a secular Egypt. Referendums maintain his position and power, but these have the same legitimacy as Mubarak's elections.
Would love to see these questions broken out by sex and age group. Where the men and women and young and old have differing opinions would be interesting. IMO.
It doesn't mention gender, and the full data isn't out yet. But it does mention that younger under 30 people are the least religious, at about 1/5 non-religious.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.